So you're a fan of the Scarlet and Violet era? Well, there's a problem that is lingering and it cannot seem to escape it. So the Scarlet and Violet era is one of the highest selling Pokemon generations of all time, and it is also linked to the Nintendo Switch, which is arguably one of the greatest gaming consoles in history. Public sentiment for the Nintendo Switch is very positive, and a lot of people deem the Switch as one of their favorite consoles of all time. It really makes you wonder, if the Nintendo Switch was such a big console and so many new fans were introduced to the Scarlet and Violet era, will this generation become even more impactful than 1999's original 151? I mean, even with the immense popularity Scarlet and Violet has, it has problems which it cannot seem to escape. And there's even separate issues, regarding the illustration rares, which I unpack in detail towards the end of this video. But, I have spent hours playing, collecting, and researching the Scarlet and Violet era, and having spent countless hours immersed in Generation 9, I've picked up on a few problems that it has encountered that need to be addressed. A lot of people were excited for Gen 9 and the trading card game. It was like a super hyped era. Now, one issue that Generation 9 is currently facing is that we are more than halfway through the TCG era, and the best set was a throwback to the original 151 Pokemon. We haven't had a standout set for Gen 9 as of yet. Now, the problem with this is that it's telling fans that Generation 9 and Gen 9's own sets and Pokemon are not strong enough to compete with the past, which is kind of problematic. You don't want the highlight of an era to be a 1999 throwback. It doesn't leave much confidence in the generation. It also has like a little subliminal message that you haven't been able to move on from the past. Yes, the original 151 is a powerhouse for Pokemon's marketing, and I dive deep into the power of the original 151 Pokemon in a previous video called The 4 Reasons Why Pokemon 151 Will Become a Goldmine, and feel free to watch that later. However, look at the previous eras. Gen 7, the Sun and Moon era, had Team Up and Cosmic Eclipse, along with a bunch of other sets that really made it stand out. It made Gen 7 stand on its own 2 feet. Sword and Shield really held its ground. It had sets like Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, Brilliant Stars, and Lost Origin, and it even showed promise early on with Battle Styles and Chilling Reign. Scarlet and Violet is now up to Twilight Masquerade, and fans only still really care about 151. Nothing has really made such an impact to draw fans in. Like I said, the only set that's caused some sort of an uproar is a set that includes 0 Gen 9 Pokemon. Now, some sets have sparked small interest, but still, they're nothing like the demand of Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, and we certainly haven't seen the Evolving Skies or the team up of this generation. And if that's gonna be 151, well, that kind of feels disappointing. Now guys, I actually just want to stop there for a second and let you know that I got a comment from a subscriber that actually had a profound impact on my personal life and for the better. I was actually having a pretty bad day, feeling pretty low, and I was actually just speaking openly with my partner about it. And then I looked down on my phone and I saw this comment, and it actually made a big difference in my life. I just wanted to say a personal thank you to Rito9396. Mate, I read your comment telling me how you patiently wait for each video release and how it's made you to be excited to be on YouTube again. Honestly, man, you made my day with that comment. It's not easy to make content, have family, kids, and juggle your job and career, and yet find the time to make a YouTube account. It's hard work. So as a token of appreciation for making my day, I'd like to gift you this Japanese pre-order special Scarlet and Violet Pikachu promo. Now, this card was only available when you physically pre-ordered Scarlet and Violet in Japan back in 2022. It's a pretty cool promo and has the Gen 9 logos in each corner. And honestly, I love this card and it's really loved by fans. Now look, the print quality of these was sensational and they grade as PSA 10s really easily. I actually sent 7 of them in and 5 of them came back a 10 and the other 2 were 9. So hopefully you get a 10. Please email me your postage details, which is found on my YouTube profile, and I'll have this shipped to you. And for the rest of you guys, please feel free to subscribe. I cover a lot of content regarding Pokemon investing, collectibles, and general trading card news. And as always, guys, I really appreciate the positive comments and I always look out for them. So yeah, definitely thank you. But like I was saying about Scarlet and Violet and Generation 9 as a whole, I really believe Scarlet and Violet needs to reshift their focus on making a real standout set. One that just gets people excited. I mean, Gen 9 hasn't had the easiest run. The Terastallized phenomenon isn't as likable, and some people have a strong distaste for the hats than, the crystals and stuff. So while some of the cards look incredible, people aren't sold on the gimmick. Not only in the trading card game has Scarlet and Violet not been up to performance. The Scarlet and Violet video games on the Nintendo Switch were some of the worst game performances ever to be released. It's a real shame because the games were actually pretty decent, but the choppy frame rate spoils the entire experience. And it seemed the lack of care has now also spilt into the TCG. We even had some real production quality issues, and we can see that with Pokemon 151. Like, the chance to score a PSA 10 on the Charizard from 151 is less than 32% when opened pack fresh. That is pretty reflective of the quality standards that we are currently dealing with. So it seems Scarlet and Violet as a set hasn't found its feet, and a lot of people are still reminiscing the Sword and Shield era, which honestly isn't too good. It leaves a lot of doubts for Generation 10 and whether or not Pokemon need to try slow down their hectic release schedule and they try and focus on making quality catch up. As I mentioned earlier, the Scarlet and Violet era has another issue with illustration rares, which were introduced as a standout feature for Generation 9. Now look, honestly, personally, on a personal level, I love illustration rares as they really bring back the enjoyment of the pack opening experience. Not everything has to be super valuable when you pull it out of a pack. However, there is one issue, right? Some of the illustration rares are that ridiculously well done that they completely outshine the special illustration rares in the set. I mean, look at the Ninetales from Obsidian Flames or the Porygon Z from Paradox Rift. Sometimes these artworks don't scale with their quality, and the special illustration rares can feel undercooked compared to the illustration rares in the same set, and the illustration rares are technically lower rarities. So it makes you really wonder, will some of these illustration rares become incredibly valuable as years go on? I actually dive deep into that topic in this video here. I cover the 8 best Pokemon cards under $8, which I believe are rock solid investments, and most of them are illustration rares. Seriously, these artworks are better than most special illustration rares, and they are super affordable. I'll see you over in that video, guys.